The Short Life of Natalie. About approximately 9 years ago, my family was going a very critical moment even till this day. After I graduated elementary school, my mother had strong headaches that each day the pain grew stronger. On top of that, she had fallen with a mental crisis in which she started to see things in the corner of her eyes. Even heard voices that would tell her to commit suicide or do something to harm her family. My father had decided to take her to intensive therapy in the hospital Lorenzo Ponce. There was moments where she had gotten attacked and my family had to grab her. A year had passed and my mother was still recovering, which caused for my sister and I to live with our uncles. There was a moment when my mother was taking care of herself that she forgot about her menstrual cycle, in which she remembered that it hasn't came for 2 months. They instantly went to get her a sonogram, which they had found out that my mother was 3 months pregnant. My mother was terribly afraid for the baby's health due to the strong medicine she was taking. In the first checkup that my mother went to, the doctor told her that due to the strong medication that she was taking, the baby might be born with some issues, and the doctor recommended that it would be best for her to abort the fetus. But to my mother's religion, he believes she decided to keep the baby. She decided to keep going to the appointments, and in one appointment the doctor told her that the baby might be born deformed, like without an arms or legs, that it would have some deformation in her body. My mother still went through the pregnancy and that this would be her last pregnancy, her last daughter. As time passed, my family started sending gifts for the new addition in our family. We had her bed and her room ready for her. Then the moment we all waited for arrived, my mother gave birth, and when they gave her the child, she shook to see if she was fine. The baby had no physical deformity at all. Everyone was surprised. So, the next day, they brought the baby home. 4 days after she was born, in the middle of the night, the baby started crying and my mother didn't realize it until dawn when she went to check on the baby. When she went, the baby was purple, crying non-stop. My parents rushed to the hospital, but there was some traffic and my mother was getting desperate. They finally made and got the baby to ECU, which my mother spent the whole day there. The doctors had told her to go home, cause the baby was gonna be there for a few days. She refused it, but my father convinced her to go. The next day, the hospital called my father. Me and my grandfather went with him. As soon as we get to the hospital, my dad told us to wait in the car. An hour had passed and my father walked out with a white package in his arm, holding it close to him. As he came to us, he was crying, saying she had passed away due to her heart being big. My father was crying on the way back home, while I had the white package next to me. As soon as we got home, we told my mother the devastating news. She was crying hysterically. Months went by and my mother would still cry about her loss. She was going and said that for a whole year she would fold the baby's clothes and tidy up the room. Even till this day, she would fix up her clothes twice a month.